Looking to parry those shots. Oh my!
Caught him with a spinning back kick. He's hurt.
What's the real difference between a good MMA fighter and a legend? It isn't just a granite chin or dynamite in your hands. It's having a championship playbook. We've studied hours of fight tape from icons like Jon Jones and Khabib Nurmagomedov to break down the 8 techniques they rely on to win, the moves they use to control, cripple, and conquer when everything is on the line.
Hands right back up.
In the chaos of an MMA fight, it looks like a storm of violence, but underneath, there's a science. The best to ever step in the cage aren't just winging it, they're masters of strategy, using specific tools with brutal precision. This isn't about a flashy once-in-a-lifetime move. This is about the 8 techniques that champions turn to when it's time to prove why they're the best in the world. We're going to break down what they are, and more importantly, why. They work at the highest level. Number 8. The oblique kick. Coming in at number 8 is one of the most controversial techniques in MMA, the oblique kick. This move solves a fundamental problem. How do you stop an opponent's movement, control distance, and break them down before the real fight even starts? The answer is a sharp, stabbing kick aimed right at the opponent's lead thigh or just above their kneecap. This isn't a power shot, it's a tactical weapon. Its main job is to disrupt an opponent's stance, making it hard for them to plant their feet to throw power shots or shoot for a takedown. The champion who popularized this was Jon Bones Jones. During his legendary run, Jones used the oblique kick to keep opponents at the end of his long reach, making them second-guess their every move. That hesitation is gold. He used it to perfection against fighters like Rampage Jackson, frustrating them and compromising their movement. A few clean shots can hyperextend a knee, causing serious pain and changing the entire fight. Number 7. The push kick. At number 7 is a technique straight out of Muay Thai, the push kick, or teep. It solves the problem of constant forward pressure. The teep is a straight kick that snaps out to the opponent's gut or hips. The goal isn't always a knockout, it's pure control. Think of it as a stiff arm in football. It physically stops someone in their tracks and forces them to reset. That constant disruption is exhausting and incredibly frustrating. A great modern blueprint is one bantamweight Muay Thai and kickboxing world champion, Jonathan Haggerty. His teep was on full display in his classic flyweight wars against the hyper-aggressive Rodtang Jitmuang Nan. By repeatedly landing the teep, he was able to manage distance and visibly drain his opponent's cardio. In MMA, this move is a lifesaver. It can stop a wrestler from shooting or frustrate a boxer trying to get inside. It's the ultimate rhythm killer. Number 6. The overhand right. Our number 6 technique is pure, unadulterated power, the overhand right. It might not be pretty, but it's responsible for some of the most jaw-dropping knockouts ever. The problem it solves: how do you land a fight-ending shot on a shorter fighter or one with a tight guard? You throw the overhand. It's a looping punch that comes over the top of the opponent's shoulder. Because it takes such an odd angle, it often lands when an opponent is braced for a straight right or a hook. The champion's blueprint is Michael Chandler. His career is built on explosive wrestling and a terrifying overhand right. His style is about creating chaos. He'll often fake a takedown to make his opponent drop their hands, and then, bam, he comes over the top with the overhand. It's the great equalizer in MMA. Simple, brutal, and an absolute showstopper. Number 5. The head kick. Coming in at number 5 is the move that gives us picture-perfect, cinematic knockouts, the head kick. The problem it solves is simple. How do you get an instant finish? The answer is a high roundhouse kick to the head or neck. The impact of a shin hitting a skull is something the human body just isn't built to handle. It's a high-risk, high-reward move, but when disguised behind punches and feints, it can land with shocking speed. A perfect modern example is Superbon Banchemek's knockout of Giorgio Petrosyan. Petrosyan was seen as one of the greatest defensive kickboxers of all time, a guy who was basically untouchable. But after a series of smart setups, Superbon landed a right head kick so perfectly that it knocked Petrosyan out cold, stunning the combat sports world. It proved that even the best defense can be shattered by one perfectly timed kick. Alright, we're just over halfway through the list. If you're digging this breakdown of the science behind the violence, do us a solid and hit that subscribe button. Now, let's get back to it. Number 4. The shoulder strike. At number 4 is a technique that was once a minor move until one of the sport's biggest stars showed how nasty it could be: the shoulder strike. The situation: you're tied up against the cage, too close for punches or kicks. How do you do real damage from a stalemate? The answer is short, brutal shoulder bumps to the face. By keeping your head in tight, you can drive your shoulder into your opponent's nose and orbital bone over and over. The champion who put this on the map was Conor McGregor in his 40-second destruction of Donald "Cowboy" Cerrone. Right at the start, McGregor clinched up and started smashing his shoulder into Cerrone's face, immediately breaking his nose. Cerrone later admitted he was completely disoriented. McGregor showed that shoulder strikes could be a primary weapon, setting up the head kick that finished the fight. Number 3. The single leg takedown. Coming in at number 3 is a cornerstone of wrestling, the single leg takedown. The problem it solves is perhaps the most important in MMA. How do you decide where the fight happens? The single leg is the key. While a double leg is about power, the single leg is often more strategic and safer. A fighter changes levels, shoots in on one leg, and uses various finishes to get the fight to the mat. It's the bridge between striking and grappling. A great blueprint for this is former Bellator welterweight world champion Rory MacDonald. MacDonald built his career on a stiff jab and a smothering ground game, and his perfect single leg was the bridge between the two. He'd use his striking to get his opponent reacting, and the second they did, he'd seamlessly drop down for the leg. It's the ultimate tool for control. Number 2. The double leg takedown. Our runner-up at number 2 is pure, unfiltered domination. The double leg takedown. It solves a fundamental problem. How do you impose your will with explosive power and take the fight to the mat? The double leg is a powerful driving takedown where a fighter lowers their level and blasts through an opponent's hips while grabbing both legs. The goal isn't just to get the fight down, it's to land in a dominant position and make your opponent feel your strength. The champion's blueprint is the Dagestani school of wrestling, perfected by icons like Khabib Nurmagomedov and Islam Makhachev. Khabib's style was mauling, using pressure to force opponents to the cage, where he would shoot a powerful double leg, often chaining takedowns. Islam Makhachev uses a more refined approach, masterfully using strikes to disguise his takedown entries before seamlessly changing levels for a perfectly timed double leg. It's the ultimate expression of grappling dominance. Number 1. The spinning back kick. And now for our number 1 technique, the spinning back kick. The problem this solves is how to brutally punish an opponent who won't stop pressuring you. The spinning back kick is the ultimate gotcha moment. A fighter pivots and drives their heel straight into their opponent's body, targeting the liver or solar plexus. The spin generates insane torque and power, and because it comes from a weird angle, opponents often don't see it coming. The champion's blueprint has been perfected by the strikers of Team Lakay, especially former bantamweight world champion Kevin "the Silencer" Belingon. Belingon uses it as a devastating counter. He'll let his opponent push him back, and just as they commit, he unleashes the spin. His finish of Andrew Leone was a perfect example, where a single spinning back kick to the liver sent Leone flying across the cage and led directly to the TKO. So there you have it. The oblique kick for disruption, the teep for range, the overhand for power, the head kick for the finish, the shoulder strike for inside damage, the single leg for position, the double leg for domination, and the spinning back kick for the spectacular counter. What separates champs from everyone else isn't just knowing these moves, but mastering when and why to use them. It's about having a playbook designed to control the fight, break an opponent, and get their hand raised. Now we want to hear from you. Which champion's signature technique do you think is the most effective? Did we miss a move you think belongs on this list? Let us know down in the comments. And if you want to see more breakdowns like this one, be sure to check out our other videos on the end screen. Thanks for watching.